So now we will clear the selection again and check our last options is where you right click on a field, you have this menu, and when you right click on a row, you have another menu. So let's check this menu first. This menu said that I want to sort this field by ascending, so it will sort it from A to Z because this one is text, or descending, the opposite, from Z to A. And here I have advanced sorting where I can sort by different fields one after another. So for example here I will say sort by city name and then sort by the area, and if I click OK, it's already the sort is by the city name. But if I enable the editing and I change this to AAA and this one have the same name, AAA, now you will see that when I do advanced sorting, I sort by the name first, ascending, and I sort by the area, descending, so these values will switch. As you see here, it's sorted AA, but because both of them are the same value, now it's sort again using the area. So you can use more advanced sorting if you want by go to the advanced sorting right here. I'm gonna stop my editing because I don't want to save that. The next option we have is summarize, and the best way to show you what summarize does, let's close this table and open the freeways, zoom to the freeways, and right click on it and say open attribute table. So for example, let's order them here by the freeway name. Now we want to make a summarized table to show the length of the 10 combined. So what that means is I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna say summarize. I want to summarize the freeway ID using the freeway ID and show the lengths by summing all the length. So that what that will do is it will create another table. It will add it to my table of content. It will create a table that have each ID combined showing the sum of the length. So if we say OK, yes, I want to add it to the map. Now I have my table here. If I come here and right click and say open, I will see that I have a smaller table that show only one value for each freeway ID and how many freeways have the same IDs and what is the sum for all the lengths of these tables. As you see here on the bottom, we have two tables showing right now. So if I come here and I say arrange these tables vertically, so right now I have both of the tables opened for me, and I can do it like this. This is the summarized table and this is the original table we have. So here's the 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 features have freeway ID of 10. Now we have one field 10 and the sum of all the lengths right here. So summarize is a really good tool to use to create a really more advanced tables, and you can also do the same thing right here by selecting this table right here, and you can create a report or you can create a graph for it. So that is summarize. So let's close this one by right click on this one and close it. And the next option we have here is statistics, but statistics is disabled because it only works for the numbers and the numeric values. So because this field is ID, it's a text, we can right click on this one. So now I have the statistics enabled, and when I click on it, it will give me just like information and statistics about this specific field called length. So we have 44 count of records. We have the minimum value is this value. We have the maximum value is this value. We have the sum. We have the mean. We have the standard deviation and how many values is null. And also here just shows you the frequency distribution of the lines. So this is just the statistics for the field if you want to view some statistics. The next option we have is field calculator, and I will make a separate video for the field calculator so we can focus more on what we can do and what is the options we can do right here. And the next thing we have is calculate geometry, and this one we used before to calculate the length for the lines for the length field. You can also calculate the X and Y values for the line start or line end or midpoint for the line. And here you can choose the values for the units you want for your calculation. After that we have a freeze, unfreeze column, and freeze column is used, let's say for example you have a lot of columns and you need to scroll between all of them. You can just come here and say, I want to show the shape length as first column right here, and I want to freeze it. So when you freeze it, when you scroll to the other columns, you have this column frozen for you, so you can actually use it, for example, to compare, and you can right click again and say unfreeze this column, and everything will go back to normal again. Also here we have delete field. If you have your editing session stopped, you can actually come here and delete the field, and you have properties for the field, and here you have the name, you have the alias, and you can change the alias from here. And here you can turn the field off, make the field read only, so no one can edit this field even when you have editing session open. And here you can check to highlight the field. And here you can change the format of this field in case you have currency values or you have rate or fraction. You can change the format of the field from here. The last thing we will look at is the menu for the rows or for the features. So you can right click here and say pan to, so it will pan the map to the feature you selected, and when you right click say flash, it will flash it for you. You can right click and say zoom to, it will zoom to this feature. You can also right click and say identify. Instead of using the identify here and go on the map to identify it, you can just right click and say identify. And then now this is all the options we have for the attribute table, and if you have any question at any time, please contact me and let me know. Thanks.